Are acoustic pianos dying or just evolving? With digital piano sales racing ahead and acoustic sales in decline, can we see an extinction event on the horizon? So today we're going to explore the sound, the feel, and the real-world uses of acoustic pianos in 2025 and answer that question. So what's the tech that has changed this dynamic so much that has sent acoustics and digitals in such opposite trajectories? Hybrids and mid-range digitals have really leveled up in terms of how complex the tone they're producing, the quality of the speakers, the action, the whole experience. With good headphones or great onboard speakers, you now have modeling and multi-sampling that's carrying a complexity and a nuance that truly transports you into a three-dimensional space. You can hear the shape of the decay, and even the sustain itself now feels entirely believable. And the very best hybrids push that even further with real acoustic actions. You could swear that you were in front of a real piano. The bottom line is digitals have come really far, really fast. So with all of the advancements that digital pianos have yielded over the last years, why do acoustics still seem to hook us, even beyond the 20% of us who actually need that level of detail and artfulness? I think there's a number of reasons. For one, let's start with aesthetic. I see acoustic pianos as part art and part highly engineered machine. And the aesthetic component, particularly of a grand piano, remains just as compelling as a well-crafted Swiss watch, or maybe even an expensive piece of art that you've invested on the wall. Just by having it in your home, just being present around this marvel of human achievement gives you a sense of pride, a sense of awe in terms of what human beings, when working with natural materials, really can achieve. The second is definitely the sound. With an acoustic piano, the sound is coming from everywhere. And not just that, it's purposely directed into other parts of your environment that are not right at your ear, something that most digital pianos don't bother to try and emulate at all. So the first thing is you're getting this nice blend of both ambient and direct sound hitting your ear, and it creates this spacious, luscious tone. Two, you have multiple types of materials that are all resonating and responding to slightly different frequencies. I find it incredibly fascinating to think about how a grand piano responds to just a single note being played. Seeing the string come alive and having that energy coming down into the soundboard, and suddenly the soundboard becoming more than the sum of its parts, really. And then finally the entire piano starting to shudder and creating all of this additional harmonic information that just comes flooding back to your ear. The funny thing about trying to create that level of detail with a digital piano is you'd almost wind up spending the same amount of money in audiophile gear and speaker placement than just buying the piano you're trying to emulate in the first place. Before we go too much further, if you are enjoying this video, you are one of tens of millions of people who have already stopped by our channel to learn a little bit more about pianos. And if you've enjoyed what you're seeing, we would love for you to subscribe. But it's so much more than just enjoying the video. Here on the channel, we offer exclusive product discounts, draws, giveaways, and exclusive content to those who choose to become members and subscribers of the Merriam Pianos YouTube channel. So if you haven't already, do us a big favor and hit that subscribe button. We'd love to see you back. Now, back to the video. So a piano's feel, that mechanical link between you and the instrument, is the final area where acoustics really differentiate themselves versus digitals. On a grand, the keys rebound so quickly that fast repeated notes feel like they're waiting for you, not the other way around. The pedal gives you continuous shading. Ease it down and you can shape the release from clear to smoky almost, not just on or off. And the dynamic arc is one breath. From a whisper, you can lean into a roar without ever feeling like you've hit a ceiling. A proper mechanical action means more control, which means more emotion. On a great grand or upright, you can truly feel unlimited. Now, it's one thing to talk about these differences, but it's another thing to actually see proof. If we take a look at these two waveforms or recordings of both a digital and acoustic piano, notice how much more information is contained on the acoustic sample. Not only are you getting the fundamental or the core tone that a string produces, but the overtones or the additional frequencies that are set off sympathetically from that note, along with all of the other resonating materials on the piano that are creating the total color that makes an acoustic piano so magical to listen to. And for professional players who have really tuned their ear to pick up on all of those small differences, it is really difficult to pull yourself back from that and be fully satisfied with even the best digital experience. So it's not that digital pianos are completely taking over or that acoustics have suddenly lost their place. The top 20% of all piano players out there, in terms of how demanding they are and the level of complexity that they're playing, will still only be satisfied with what an acoustic piano can present. But what has happened is the rest of the 80% are now quite satisfied with the utility and convenience that digital pianos can deliver. So what are your thoughts on this rather complicated question about where the acoustic piano is headed? Please subscribe if you haven't already. We'll see you back next week for more videos. My name is Stu Harrison. This is Merriam Pianos on YouTube. Thanks so much.